So as MotoGP heads to Indonesia for the first time since 1997, a year before I was born, almost 24 years ago at this stage, for the first test on the pretty new Indonesian GP track that is Mandalika. It was constructed in 2015. World Superbikes have gone there for the first time in 2021. They had pretty good feedback about it. Now, I've heard a lot about the track. I've heard it's quite good. And I would think to myself, I've never gone around it. So what better than to take a beautiful 916 around there for my first few laps. So yeah, let's see what all the hype is about. So this place was only opened about 4 months ago. So it was started construction back in 2015 and it only finished up in November. Hello chaps, in November of 2021. Now I've done a lap or two just to see where it goes. But nothing major. And so far I have a few impressions and I'm going to just do a slow lap just to go through it. It's not a massively long track. The first little sector here is quite technical, quite tight. But then as you come through this, which would be turn 3, you have this little kink here. Maybe that's turn 4, but then it gets pretty exciting here. You go through this, pin it, and then you have a double kink. Well, you have this kink. And then you go into this little chicane. Well, it's a fast chicane. Right, left. Then you get out of here. This little section here reminds me of Thailand, the last sector as you run to the final corner. Then you go down into this pretty tight right-hander. It's more than 90 degree, kind of folds back on itself. That would be a massive overtaking spot. Then you come up to another quite quick right-left chicane. A bit wider and more open, this one. But again, this reminds me a bit of Qatar, the midsection Qatar, where people will try and stuff it up the inside here if they can get it done. And now we come into the business end of the track, the last sector. So I like this bit here. You flick it right, short shift 2 gears, and just on a big bike you'd spin it all around here. Now, but this here is going to be the controversial part of the track. You come in here, it gets tight, and then you have this little hairpin here. So my first impressions are Argentina, the last sector, and Misano, the as you go through Tribone, through the double rights, and then into what I believe is known as, oh, it's slipping my mind now, that tight right hander. I can't think of the name of it. I'll put it on screen if I can't think of it. No, I'm thinking Rio, but Rio's turn 4. Oh, it's kicking me now because I should know that. But anyway, it's pretty tight and I can only see drama there. That corner in particular I'm thinking of. Fuck, I'm going to have to look it up. So it was called Caro. So that was the corner. So you come into that tight right-hander, which is known as Caro. And it's caused issue. Its championships have been decided there. Rossi and Marquez clashed there in 2019. I saw that live. That was pretty crazy. Right in front of me I saw that. But anyway, Miller, I got pumped out of it this year by Mir and Marquez. And then we move on to Argentina. That final corner caused so much controversy in the GP. Davi being taken out by his then teammate Iannone. So I just feel we're coming up to there now in a second, and you can get another look at it for the second time round. It kind of is. It's a very, very nice track. Now, I haven't really managed to get up to speed with it yet because GP bikes is a hard game and you can't really, when you're learning a track on GP bikes, it does take a lot more time than it would of a GP game, just because you can't really, have to be a bit more precise with the bike. You have to learn it like you would real life, which is much more realistic and much more enjoyable. But you come into it here, come in quite fast. It's quite a fast turn, but then you can just imagine someone's going to hold it tight, go for the inside, and there's collision, and there's going to be 2 bikes sitting there, and then third place comes out of the corner, has a look over his shoulder and realises he's won the race. So there's going to be shenanigans there anyway. But we're going to go for a bit more of a quick lap this time around, just to give an idea of what the actual track's like. I love this complex here. Oh, that's my clutch as well. My camera is also my clutch. But it's definitely a modern looking track, as I would expect to be. Shit. Since it's only been open 4 months, but again, lots of runoff in some parts of track, but then some parts of track you can see gravel and grass. So it's going to be a technical track. I'd say from my first impressions, I'm going to say Suzuki, Yamaha are going to like this, and Ducati as well, because there is some really fast and heavy braking zones. I think the modern Ducati will like it, but maybe even Aprilia as well, because they seem to have a bit of track and corner speed as well this year, so they could be a little bit special. They are going to be ones to watch. But then you come into this little second, just feels so much like the last sector as you come into the final corner at Thailand. So it's kind of a lot of different tracks put into one. It reminds me in a lot of places of different tracks, which is what Texas was designed off. Texas was built with a lot of tracks in mind, and that's a pretty good track. Now, maybe not for bikes, it is a good track for cars. I like Texas, not a lot of people do. But overall, I think it's a smashing track, and I cannot wait to see MotoGP here. Now, there is footage. Now, today, as of recording, is so... The first test was kind of last night for me, so as I woke up this morning, it was coming to an end, and the track was destroyed. So a lot of that gravel sand was blown on, and it was just... They had to do 20 mandatory laps each rider just to clean the track. But yeah, it was a pretty eventful day. So they said like that they have so much more to gain, because I think Aleix Espargaro was P2, and he found his fastest lap of the session, which put him P2, was on a 20-old lap tyre. So definitely, obviously a track will just rubber in over the days they were there. So they're, as always with a new track, they go there and they'll just find time as days goes on. They did get a bit of rain as well. Again, being Indonesia, it's probably a very similar climate to Sepang, I would guess. Having no actual idea, since I've never been to either, but I'd imagine Indonesia is pretty warm. It does look it with these palm trees, which I think are pretty cool. But just from riding around, I think this is going to be a cracking racetrack. And I mentioned a lot about this sector here being Thailand, very similar to Thailand. I find this track already is a lot more enjoyable to ride than Thailand. I've never once got on with that track, and I just find it dull, boring, it's too wide. It's just a boring track to me, and I don't like riding into GP games and anything else. Whereas this, I could see myself having a lot of fun with this. Just for reference, a 1 minute 32 was the fastest lap by Paul Espargaro set on his Honda GP bike. So I am 13 seconds off that while commentating and just kind of coasting more than anything. So we will in a second try and put in a decent lap. You can see, look, it just comes in, and then yeah, you actually have to take a lot more caution than that. You can see I'm out in the green. But just even this little bit here, this corner here reminds me of Kyalami, just very similar last corner. But up the line, it's going to be a 43 or 42, a low 43. Let's see, can we go sub 40? I'm gonna shut up for that and see what I can do. No, we're in hot air. That's not good. Oh, and that's what happens when you try and push in this game. You just high side. So we're back again. We're going to try for another lap and just see what we can do. But the more I ride this track, the more I fear about that final sector. Now, it's a bit tighter as I'm getting used to the line. It's a bit tighter than I first initially thought, but it still feels like you could just turn the bike tighter and just sling it up the inside. But we won't know until we get to, especially the lower class. Lower class are just kamikazes, but that's what we love them for. The future MotoGP World Champions go at it so hard in the lower classes. It's great learning curve for them. So far, I am enjoying the hell out of this track. I must say the Indonesians have done a brilliant job with it. It's just fun. It's like a lot of the modern tracks are just dull and boring, and this is just quick and it has a bit of character and flow. So I can imagine on a GP bike, it's probably a lot of fun. Now, I haven't seen any comments from GP riders yet just to see what they say, but I remember when Superbikes went here, they had some fun with it, so I can't imagine a GP bike being less enjoyable around here. It's been quite a while since we've had a new track, and since it's a proper new track that we've had. Before COVID, it was probably one of the Thailand races, I'd say, was one of the first new ones we had in a while. I think this track has been since 2019. Yeah, I got it wrong. Since 2019, this has been kind of lined up to go onto it. They were just waiting for it to be constructed, and of course, COVID screwed up it for everyone. It's really gentle through the final corner. Up to the line we come. It's going to be a low 41, mid 41, 41.4. Yeah, I still reckon I could beat a woman at 40 around here if I get a good lap in. Maybe do a little setup work, but we're going to just ride it now. Ride out what I have. This sector here is quite technical. These bikes are quite heavy. But not, you can't really take. You probably could take that flat. I'm just being a bit cautious. Nice change of direction. Oh, yeah, love that. Just love that little section there. 1.4 is the difference. That's do a lot. We are on a good lap, but it's not 1.4 good. But we did, I think, have a mistake in the final sector, if I am correct. So yeah, even now, I've done what? I can't even see. I don't know how many laps I've done. Maybe 6, 7. And I'm getting into a nice little rhythm at this place. Careful on the back shifts. Oh shit, we're in so hot here. Actually not too bad. We're up by 1.1, but I made... I was just going to say I made a mistake, and then I bloody high-sided it. So that would have been 40.3 maybe? Alright, we're going to give it one more crack. I'll catch you in a sec. So here we are, start the final lap of our push. This is a pretty good lap, other than the crash at the start to ruin it. But anyway, up the line we come. This is only our 5th lap, so we actually haven't done that many laps. Down to T1. I reckon this is going to be a fan favourite, this track. I really do. The Indonesians are absolutely crazy about this sport. They do adore it. It's one of the biggest events of the year, I'd say, when this comes around. And why shouldn't it be with the track that looks this good? Oh, gonna take a bit of grass? No. Gonna chance it flat. Small lift, then pin it. Oh, using all the track and then some. Flat through here. Oh, that was quick. We're in a bit hot, are we? No, just got it down to the apex. Not on as good of a lap though. Oh, that's a lot of grass, almost. We are finding time. Let's go beat the lap. Come on, Ducati. Might be able to bring this back for late apex. Oh, that's the line. Hello. Look at the time. Look at the time we just found through that. Don't bin it here now though. Keep it in first just to make sure of it. Don't know if it's enough though. It's not going to be enough. 40.3. Let's try one more. Come on, we can do it. No, we can't. Screw it. Yeah, we're in hot. Actually not, we're under somehow. Alright, let's see what we can do. One final lap. Seem to be up by a lot this time around. Just better definitely this time through here. Small roll again. Back to 4th, nice and early. Flicking it over. Power. I'm going to run wide, I can feel it. Small corner cut. Who cares? I'm a bit early on the brakes here. It's going to leave coast in a touch. Damn glad they're going to this track because it is a hell of a lot of fun. Oh. I take some interesting lines through these corners. Oh, I'm in hot. Rear it and go. Stop it. I need all that time I have. I think we got a good exit there over my last time. Bit more aggressive in. Nah, we screwed it. We screwed it. We screwed it. We're going to track extend it. Nah, surely we're not going to get this one back. Somehow we're under. What? Oh, rear end letting go again. Looks like we're going to do it with a bit of an assist from the track limits. So we managed to go sub 140, but it wasn't legit. I believe I could do it legit. That last sector is going to take a lot of figuring out though, because it's all about how much speed you can take in and make the corner and not get dive bombed. It's going to be fun, this track. It's going to be a good fun GP. It's some of the recent editions. There hasn't been a real great track in a while. So this one, if the racing's good, I believe it will be, because there's a lot of. So you have the fast sector, so it's going to be a fun track to race after the riders, and it should bring some decent racing, which is always good. And I'd say the lower track or the lower categories will have an absolute field day here. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there for today's episode. I hope you did enjoy this look at the Mandalika circuit in Indonesia. And yeah, let me know down below in the comments what you think yourselves of this track. For me, it's a massive thumbs up. Good job from the Indonesians and whoever designed it. It's quite fun to ride on GP bikes, which usually means it's good in real life. That always makes sense. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Catch you all in the next video.